What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here, welcome. I am the Wolfman, or in this case, Civil Wolf right now, because we just saw Wolfman, or we just saw Civil War. I'm doing my whole mixing up the two things. We just saw Civil War. This is the new. I saw this on Friday. Andrew saw it on Saturday. it was actually my first Dolby Atmos screening because I've been to 40X, I've been to IMAX. This is my first. I've been to ScreenX, which is a stupid gimmick. And so this is the first time I've ever been to a Dolby Atmos where like the surround sound is even heavier. They have speakers up on the ceiling and speakers on the side of the wall. So we got to see this film this weekend. We are here to review it for you. This is the new A24 film from director Alex Garland, and pretty much what this film is about is a big civil war is breaking out over our country of America, and the film doesn't really tell you why it's breaking out or exactly like doesn't take any sides or anything. So it's really kind of up to the viewer's interpretation, such, which I appreciated. And it stars Kirsten Dunst, Kaylee Spaney, who is becoming a star right now, and even has a scene-stealing moment from Jesse Plemons. But
scary scene of the year by far.
For sure. Oh my god. It's terrifying. So we are here to give you guys our review of it and then conclude the review just telling you guys yes or no on whether you should see it. And I will start off by saying this is the movie of the year for me. I was blown away by this. I was not, I went in expecting a good movie or even a very good movie because it's Alex Garland, and he has not steered me wrong yet. Yes, I even like men. So I was like, okay, this is definitely going to be very good. I wasn't expecting to be as blown away by this as I was. Like, the cinematography is gorgeous, every single frame. There's even some shots that they have that will forever haunt my memory now. Like, I'll never be able to get them out of my head. And there's this, like I said earlier, the performances were all excellent, especially from Kaylee Spaney, who's like becoming a star. She's a scene stealer here. She is excellent in this film. And then I thought the sound design was like the MVP here, with the way that it just completely would have the quiet moments when certain explosions would go off. Like, it would explode, then you'd hear like the ringing sound, or it'd be silent, to then giving you a loud pop, like jump scare from a gun all of a sudden. And you're like, whoa, what? And all that stuff. And so that was really well done. And I really love not only the score in this movie, but like the use of music as a whole, like what the soundtrack songs that they used. Like, there's a certain scene, and that will we won't give it any context away. It reminded me a lot of The Last of Us. If y'all played The Last of Us and you know that scene with like the sniper where he's coming up on the where you have to come up on that house and they're sniping at you. It reminded me a lot of that. But there's a scene where they go up to something like that and they're getting sniped at, and it's like some Christmas festival or something that happened that shut down, and they're playing some happy Christmas music while this person's sniping at them.
Best scene in the movie.
It was such a interesting like juxtaposition there of like disturbing imagery and what's going on with something that's so uplifting and happy, and just that juxtaposition just made it all the more interesting. There are some great other song choices, like the song they use at the very, very end. And just overall, the editing is just top notch. Never once was I bored. I was on the edge of my seat this whole movie. I was tense. I felt for the characters. I didn't want anything bad to happen. And there's a scene where like a car disappears on the road afterwards, and I was so attached to the character. I was like, "Oh no, what happened? What happened?" And all that stuff. And I was very like, did not want anything bad to happen to them.
And then and then we see Jesse Plemons' character, and like, oh no, the scene.
Yeah. We're like, we knew what scene was coming, but we didn't know it was going to be that intense. This is like, that was definitely the scariest scene of the year, and is going to definitely haunt me for a while now, especially a thing that all I'll say is there's a scene that has to do with dead bodies in a pit, and that really haunted me in that same scene. But it was yeah, I was so riveted. I was on the edge of my seat. And unlike Dune Part 2, though, it's like where Dune Part 2, I never wanted it to end. I wanted to be in that world for as long as possible. This had such a different effect on me where I did want it to end. I was like, oh my God, this is such a haunting, grueling experience. I want this to end, please. And then once it ended, I like had to breathe out loud, like, because like it took my breath away.
It ended like I was waiting for like an epilogue or like something.
Yeah, I'm glad it ended the way it did.
Like something with the girl and all of that stuff. I was waiting for another few minutes of things, and then it just ended. I'm like, wow.
Oh yeah, no, I was the same way. I was.
Yeah, it didn't. You didn't feel gypped at the end. It wasn't like, what the fuck? I wanted this to happen. What happened to this? What happened to that? No, it felt earned.
It did. Yeah, everything felt earned. The third act was tense. The build up to it was excellent. There are some, if you guys are expecting Nick Offerman to have a bigger role in this, don't go in expecting that. He is like literally in it for like maybe 2 minutes, and that's it. Like he's barely in the film. So, but he's very good, but he's just barely in the film.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love most about this movie, and other than everything that you said, is if you know a good movie is good, especially a tense movie, if you get to the scenes where it's just normal dialogue and like normal stuff happening and just people interacting and nothing scary, and you're still on the edge of your seat, like, what's gonna happen? Is somebody gonna come out right there and shoot?
Yeah, like there's certain parts where they're just walking or they're just doing something, and I'm worried there's gonna be a sniper that shoots one of them in the head, And
yes, like when they're switching between cars.
Oh yeah.
I actually thought there was gonna be like a sniper in the trees or something.
I was worried about that. There's so many moments like that to where you're just sweating, you're just clenching your chair, you're hoping that everything turns out all right with these characters. And it's not really the movie that you guys are expecting. I would say that. Like the way this was marketed, A24 did it again. They failed the marketing because the way this is marketed looks like a stereotypical action movie. And it's not that. This is much more of like a character study about these journalists and us following them through war and just them putting us in the view of these photojournalists. And I really loved the like way they would take still shot, like they would take shots and then we would see what they see. They would show the image pop up on screen,
I
and that way
like
we would see
I
what,
did I
what they
did
see, which was really cool.
like that too.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting, and yeah, I feel like it also has a lot to say on how far one will go for that like money shot. You know, that like big, grand
Yes.
shot and such, because they go to very extreme lengths in this. And what are your thoughts on the criticisms this movie has been getting? Because one, it doesn't pick a stance, and then two is they never explain why they're fighting.
Well, I feel two things. But I understand the whole political, not making political stance. You know, I understand. It did not affect me going in, but thinking about the movie beforehand, it kind of remind me of if you want to cook something and you don't have any of the ingredients, you know, it's like, why not cook something else, you know? Why not make something that if you can tackle a very serious topic and not be as controversial, you know?
Yeah.
Or make something completely made up, or something like that. I like so part of me understands, so I didn't feel it as much during the movie, but I can understand the whole if you're too afraid to like take a side, then just make another movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like then this is not the avenue to go, kind of a thing, you know. I feel like that for the bigger thing than why are we fighting, cuz in my opinion, I just looked at it like as in our country's in right now political
Yeah.
you know, where for some people probably love the president, some people wanted to kill the president. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
like as soon as they brought that up, it's like, okay, that's probably fine. The war is happening. You know, some people really support the president. Some people are really, really, really against the president.
Yeah. And I feel like it also just fits with the whole, you know, war. Whoa, what is it good for? Sorry. But it's like one of those things where I feel like it is trying to tell you that most war, I know there are some wars that were fought for good causes like the Civil War and such, but most wars are for no point at all. Like there's no point in fighting.
For a very selfish point. Like, I hate to bring real world into this, but the whole Russia Ukraine war, you could say part of the reason, oh, because Russia wants to remake the Iron Curtain, and they want to invade and they want the Ukraine to be Russian territory. It's selfish reason.
Yeah. It's a
So
reason, but it's not a good reason. It's not
it's very
self.
selfish.
Yeah. And so, but it's stuff like that I think this movie was trying to convey, you know. And then I like the idea people say this movie doesn't really make you think. Well, I beg to differ because it really makes you think because it puts you into the shoes of these characters and then makes you say, all right, what is right? What is wrong here? Why this and that? And then like you have to be a part of that now. So I thought it was utterly brilliant on that front and just
completely agree. It's my favorite movie of the year. It's the one that it kept on creeping up throughout the movie. Like I'm like, okay, this is third. Okay, this is second. Oh, okay, no, number one. By the end, it was number one. By the end, I was like, this movie was so good, and this if we and this is the kind of movie if this plot was to be described to you, and then you heard the word, oh right, made by A24, you'd be like, oh, I'm predicting this is the kind of movie they'll make. They made it. Boom. And something else about the ending that I really liked is the third act had great action, had really good action, but here's the thing. You could say that about a lot of movies, like for example, you have those White House Downs, that have really good action, but the characters and the story are very not good, They're it's just the plot is just a device for action. For this in this, the action was a device for the story.
I agree. And it was one of those things where it was earned and you felt that whenever you watched it. And it was like a treat from them then and
Yes.
that you were receiving from Alice Garland. And let me just say, like, it was extremely well made, immaculately well made. It was just crazy how well made it was. But this is probably my favorite Alice Garland film, and I will say that if he truly is retiring, because there's rumors that, well, not rumors, he said it outright that he's kind of fallen out of love with filmmaking, so he might still write a couple movies, but he's not going to really direct movies anymore. So if that is true, then Sir Alice Garland, you went out with a bang, my friend. Quite literally. Because this is just like your magnum opus right here.
Yes, and what I love the most is this is really showing the power of A24, cause this is a very dramatic political thriller type of movie where A24 literally can make any movie of any genre. Hell, their next movie could be a PG rated animated movie for families. For all that we know, A24.
Wow. Their next movie is I Saw the TV Glow, which is a R-rated or PG-13.
It could be up the pipeline, and knowing A24, people wouldn't be shocked. People would be like, "Whoa, what is A24 doing?" They'd be like, "Well, it's A24, and they're trying something different, typical for A24,
Yeah, and this is definitely different from them. This is like feels a lot like a blockbuster, but even though it's only made for $50 million, this feels a lot like A24's blockbuster, and it's like their big film. I really hope that this does extremely well at the box office. I've heard it's been doing pretty well, and I hope that this can make its money back and become one of A24's biggest successes. I just think this conversation and word of mouth is just going to help it even more because people are going to be curious. They're going to want to see it. Some people are saying the conversation is going to hurt it, but I think it's actually going to help it because people are talking about it, and all publicity is good
And also keep in mind of one other thing.
What?
If this doesn't break the record, when does I Saw the TV Glow come out?
That's May 3rd.
I'm thinking their second next movie, Maxine.
Oh yeah.
That could also be huge because look at the date alone. It's coming up on like July 4th weekend, and it's like a horror movie.
True. Yeah, that's and it's also already a final chapter in a trilogy that the first two films were successful box office wise. So,
if you know what I would love to see A24 do next. Actually,
you're gonna say romantic comedy?
No, Shirley, no, not a romantic comedy. I want them to try to revive a genre that I think is kind of dead at the moment.
Don't say spoof movie. That's just completely out of A24's wheelhouse.
Why not? Because they do all sorts of, like, comedies, you know?
Yeah, they do comedies, but spoof movies are different. That's like a whole nother brand of like comedy that's like for a very niche crowd. You know?
They could make a more well-made one that is funny and is, kind of smart.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like they're a lot more sophisticated than doing spoof comedies. I mean, they did do Everything Everywhere All at Once, but it's like, but even that was very sophisticated.
I feel like I kind of feel like if any studio would do it, would be A24. You know, A24 would be like hey, there's a genre that is sort of dead.
I feel like Neon would actually do the spoof movie before A24 would, personally.
That's all that I want. I want small studios to kind of start looking at genres that are dead or like have a bad reputation and say, okay, how do we revive this?
Yeah.
And things like this only help me say, because a good box office and a good movie landscape is one that has a lot of healthy genres.
Okay.
So the more and more genres become more and more, less taboo, or people actually go see, the more chances there are for other films.
Yeah, but they also have to. The thing with films from like A24 and such is you also have to run the risk of there's a very strong possibility it won't be a hit and it'll be kind of a flop. But then there is a strong possibility that it could, and it's like a 50-50 thing. And so like what if they try to revitalize the genre and then it's one of their flops, you know?
That's why if you pick a small studio with an extremely small budget and make it a movie that, like, if it makes $20-30 million, hey, it's a hit. You know, if it makes 15-20 million in its opening weekend, hey, people are popping champagne, kind of a thing. You don't have to go all in and spend hundreds of millions. Like, just look at this movie. They literally had an opening weekend of $27 million, $25 million.
Yeah.
Imagine any other studio. Imagine like a Kung Fu Panda 4 open.
Yeah.
People would be, oh no, it's dead, it's dead, it's dead. Like this is the quality of A24. They make their movies for so cheap that even if you're the ones that don't make as much money, it's not like they're losing much profit because their movies are so cheap to make.
Yeah, that's very true.
So
I mean, Talk to Me was made for 5 million and it made 90 million at the box office. So yeah.
Exactly. So things like Talk to Me, this horror movies, and for a spoof comedy, all you need is a good script with good actors. You know, you don't need something like a Civil War where you need effects and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I love. But that's why I'm more in love with A24 now, because they are doing these movies and they are taking these risks and they're paying off. Like, sure, they have their missteps, you know, but every studio does. And this movie right here is a major step forward for them.
Yeah, and I would say that A24 and Neon are both my favorite studios right now because they're both very similar in like the choices that they make and all that stuff, and they're both take risks to do their films and they do them on smaller budgets, and I definitely respect that. And this is definitely one of A24's best films for sure.
Funny enough, but I know this isn't made by this studio. My favorite studio right now, like big name studio, is weirdly enough is Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I mean when it comes to your happy movies, yeah. But when it comes to like actual quality films, I feel like A24 is where it's at. Like that's right now where it's like they are top dog right now is A24 and such. And Neon and such like that are like top dog because of just the quality that they put out. So yeah, guys, that'll pretty much do it for this review. But be sure you like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff, so then you guys can and ring the notification bell so that you never miss another review. We loved you guys being here. Make sure you comment down below. Have y'all seen Civil War? What'd y'all think about it? Let us know your thoughts and more. I definitely read your comments, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. We will see you all in the next review, and until next time, stay classy, my friends, and keep on watching those movies.